Hey, I'm just gonna sit here quietly for a second and let you stare at me. Yeah, we're building character. No, we're not talking about the cartoons today. We're talking character. What is in your mirror? When you look in the mirror, who do you see? A guy with character? A guy who's a loser. Today, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, Marty, Kristina Flynn, and our guest, Adam House. Yeah, we're digging into the old conversation of character today. It's a funny word. Mornings in the Lab, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of bed, get moving, get rocking and rolling, and get life underway. I get my ass every single day out of bed with you guys. And I gotta tell you guys, Mike has some challenges. We'll just put that on the table. But he's found us, he's found our energy, he's found the momentum, and every single day he gets up to hang out with us.
And we all got problems, for the record. Shit, ain't not one of us doesn't have some.
Russians are being urged to have sex during work breaks amid a massive crunch in humans being born. Pollution is shrinking human penises. 2017, Dr. Shanna H. Swan, a renowned environmental and reproductive epidemiologist, tied the use of industrial chemicals in everyday products to smaller penises, lower sperm counts, and erect dysfunction.
They're basically killing the human race with all of this terrible food that they're feeding us.
Pollution's making dicks smaller on men. But if you happen to be over in that part of the world where there's lots of pollution, you might be actually two things against you. You can't make kids and your dick is small. A recent study in Melbourne confirmed that chemicals and plastics are leading to genital defects in male babies.
I'm telling you right now, I've never seen, because I don't think anybody's ever seen in our current world, a child that's been truly raised on single ingredient whole foods, never had a processed food in his life.
People need to start fasting more, tons of health benefits. We drop it, give you guys something to think about, and get you guys get started. We have to stop, nation, leaning into these homophobic jokes that we think are funny, because when it comes down to it, we're demarginalizing a human being. And that to me is ultimately wrong.
I think we got to talk past jokes are jokes. And if you want to be equal, I feel like everybody should be able to be joked on. Humor is part of our, that's part of our nature. But I think if we're going to talk about dehumanizing, there are certain things we should highlight, and we should highlight the actual dehumanizing.
Context is everything. If I'm with my girls, I'll be like, bitch, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Are they going to take offense to it? No, they're not going to take offense to it. But if you walked into the room and said, bitch, what are you doing? They'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? If I'm in the locker room, which is what Will's talking about, or if I'm just Dave Chappelle and I'm on a show and I'm saying things that are incredibly hurtful, incredibly dehumanizing, that take a group that already struggles day to day, like the trans community, and I'm putting one more in them, and I have crazy influence to be able to do that, to me, that's completely unacceptable.
Is the spirit of the joke intending to be like a giggle with somebody, like laughing with them, or are you firing right at them and laughing at them?
People say stuff, they make jokes about black people. I see stuff all the time, but at the same time, as a black man, I can't complain every time I see a joke about it or every time I see something. And my fear is that we're going to get to a point where we can't say anything.
Can you intend on not hurting somebody and still hurt somebody? Yes. Like, it's the use of the R word. To me, there's a difference between like reclaimed words and words that people use against other groups. It's just the idea of, are you joking about something being lesser than? Are you calling each other a pussy because you're saying being a woman is weaker? Are you saying no homo because you're like, I don't want to be thought of as gay?
As a fat little dumb son of a bitch, I was picked on a lot. And that was one thing that I, just by the nature of survival, I was pretty good at starting to block out the noise, to where people were talking all that mess. It didn't affect me anymore. We can't control what happens around us, but we have 100% control of how we react to it.
The influence we have as human beings is powerful. If you say something you don't like and somebody's listening, you might inspire them to do something that they don't even know they're going to do.
Broad shoulders, narrow waist, it gives you an athletic, strong look. And it's going to be a confidence booster, a performance booster, and it's a symbol of strength. Strive for the V shape, work towards attain it. That's the fitness tip for today.
60% of consumers cite shared values as the primary reason they maintain a brand relationship. In today's business world, trust, transparency, they're not optional, frankly. We live in a world of digital brands. They're just non-negotiable.
You can't buy trust. It's earned. You can't buy a reputation. It's earned.
When you have that good character and you're the guy that owns your word, when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And that's a huge part of who you are. People are attracted to that, whether they know it or not.
Character is everything, and how you react in those tough moments, that's the real you.
Character can take decades to build. build, but can be shattered in a moment. This is especially true in high-stakes business environments where one ethical misstep can derail an entire reputation.
A good name is worth more than any amount of money, your reputation.
Yes.
And the second, for anyone that's giving someone a hard time for a mistake, whoever hasn't sinned, cast the first stone. Look at yourself before you start tearing down other people. When Tiger Woods came back, I was pulling for him on every single hole. Show me your 5 friends. I'll show you who you are. That's the only place the past exists. So learn from it, move forward, and keep building.
The quality of your thoughts are going to dictate the quality of your life. Just remember, the quality of your thoughts will dictate the quality of your life. You got to remember that something happened in that cringeworthy moment that changed your trajectory. And the change of your trajectory, if you responded properly to that cringeworthy moment, would actually be something you look back at and be happy about.
Run to the cringeworthy moment. Like, the quicker I can get to it, the quicker I can get past it, the quicker I can get better.
Embrace the mistakes you're going to make. Embrace the obstacles you're going to face.
Fail fast, fail often. Why do we go to the gym? To fail. Break down our muscles so they get stronger every day.
Looking back, you can connect the dots. If I didn't have that problem, I wouldn't have developed the skill. Holy shit, if I didn't go through that terrible experience, I wouldn't have developed the thick skin.
Every high performer is going to beat themselves up. It's just what you do with those feelings. You know, for me, you mentioned I'm a faith guy, so I pray in the morning, hey God, you made me, so help me get through this. Try to get better 1% every day. You're trying to make your ceiling as a father their floor. It's the best thing you can do for your kids is own your mistakes.
The ultimate entrepreneurial advisory business on the internet, on LinkedIn. If you are an entrepreneur who's looking to build your business, go knock on Adam's door. He'll help you get started.
The most effective thing in all of what we're talking about is making sure you get the work in. If you don't have the habit of showing up, none of what we're talking about makes a difference.
Just show up. Be disciplined.
The guy that has the character, the pillar, call it a pillar of that unique society, will rise to the top. Because the guy that doesn't have that character, the guy that, you know, is always trying to work the system to get what he wants.
Have some integrity, because it's going to catch up to you at some point, even if it's 10 years down the road. What you do in the dark comes to light.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's integrity and character is everything.
Find what you really want to do. Don't choose your life. Don't let life choose you. And when you choose your life, you're going to have a much better experience. If I identify that the fall you're having is going to change the trajectory of your life because it was too impactful in a negative way, I will be there. I will sneak between you and the ground to pad that fall. Our brains are like this supercomputer, and the hardware is there, but we get to program. We have the option. We have the ability to program how we look at things. I got kicked in the nuts. I'm on my hands and knees gasping for air, but guess what? I'm on my fours. I got a perspective around me I didn't have before I got kicked in the nuts. So what am I supposed to see there?
I don't think a lot of people know about the toxicity in our foods and our environment and the impact that's having.
You can't control what happens around you, but you can control how you react to it. And when you really own that statement, it's your character that helps you own that statement.